Guys, I have a question for you. Are you a fan of the Fortnite storyline? Do you like speculating about the Fortnite storyline? Are you into Fortnite storyline theories? If so, this is the video for you. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to the Lore Lab. This is the series in the channel where I ask you guys to jump into the Discord server and drop some storyline theories, and we make them into a video. I have not seen these. I'm just reacting to them, and it's a lot of fun to do, to be honest with you guys. So I have to ask you though, Discord server guys, when this was talk at Clen, you guys were dropping storyline theories like constantly. What's going on? We only have like 5 storyline theories to take a look at today. So guys, join the Discord, drop some storyline theories. Let's talk about it. I love making these videos. I love talking about the Fortnite storyline with you guys. So get on it. Let's go. Let's start with the first one. Okay, so here is my theory for what we could expect to see with Season 5 and where the story will go as of Season 4 currently. So as of right now, we are currently gathering a new heist crew for Dr. Sloan after the first attempt to find the time machine led by Nolan failed, seen in the Season 4 storyline trailer. I believe that by the end of Season 4, we would have either stolen or taken over the Eclipse estate, so now it is under the control of Dr. Sloan, leaving the time machine in her possession. However, one thing to note is that sometime during Season 4, we can expect to see the return of Agent Jones. This is because of a string in the files related to Agent Jones NPC being set to return during Season 4. I did not know that. That is incredibly exciting. I believe the way Season 5 will start is either Sloan will start to power up the machine, or Jones, knowing the dangers a time machine in Sloan's possession could hold, scuttles the time machine, setting the whole island into the distant past. This process would take a while, however, so during Season 5 it would work similarly to Season X, with random POIs being sent onto the island, starting with some more recent POIs and gradually moving backwards in time, bringing POIs from Chapter 2 during the mid-season and then Chapter 1 during the late and end of the season before the live event, which sends the whole island into the distant past before the events of Chapter 1, giving us a prequel season. Some of this has already been hinted at by Shinna, as of recently he received news from what they claim to be as a reliable source suggesting that POIs such as Tilted Towers will return, and which can be seen in a string file, which you can find in the image below. This source also suggests the introduction of a new open world mode coming in Chapter 5, which we have seen hints of time to time again. This could be either the leaked extraction shooter mode or the open world mode involving crafting, with the latter being more likely of the two. Moving on, however, I believe that during the live event, Sloan reveals her intentions to the loopers that she wanted to go back in time to change the outcome of the collision event, and also warn Geno of the impending attacks from the Herald. Either that, or she will let her past self and Geno die so she become the new leader with the knowledge of the future that she needs to prevent future attacks. Either Sloan escapes from the collision event and Jones and everyone else are sent to the past, or both Jones and Sloan are sent to the past together, and perhaps over time they both form their own visions of the IO and Seven with the ancient factions that roam the island. I will say, that last part of the theory was really cool. That'd be really cool if that happened. So just a couple things that I do want to mention there is Tilted Towers coming back honestly doesn't mean much for me, especially like being a prequel season, because Tilted Towers has just been in and out of the game, especially like different versions of Tilted Towers. This, I would say it means more than it doesn't, but that could very well just be like, hey, let's bring back Tilted Towers, you know what I mean? The other thing that I didn't know about, which is very interesting, I didn't know there was a Jones NPC that's supposed to launch this season, which Agent Jones is my favorite, if not my second favorite behind Midas, favorite storyline character. So that is very, very exciting. I also think it'd be very, very interesting. And if you guys know me, guys, I'm a big fan of Season X, right? I'm a huge fan. My second favorite season. It's almost first. Almost first. It's a real close. But anyways, so the idea to have the season progress, like the first 2 weeks having Chapter 2 POIs coming back and then Chapter 1 POIs coming back, would be incredibly exciting, because you're currently like going in the past. If you want to take that further, I think it'd be a really cool idea if it started off from like Chapter 2 Season 8 brings someone back, then Chapter 2 Season 7 brings something back, Chapter 2 Season 6 brings something back. But could you imagine bringing back some Primal stuff? That'd be so funny to me. But man, this theory makes sense, but I'm more on the side of like, wow, that'd be really cool if that would happen. This is a great theory. Thank you so much as always, Sizzo. Getting back to the old days for this one, what if the 7 had a good reason to destroy the map? Sure, the 0 point was destabilizing, but surely that wasn't it. IO was very established and cooperative with the 7's move 2s. Just look at the weekly map updates of Season X. It was almost like IO and 7 had a mutual understanding post Season 9 when Paradigm partnered with Singularity to defeat the monster. My guess is that with the floating cube island on the map, it alerted the last reality, and it could be both forces at the same time were weakened due to the moves of the Ice King and Fire King. This would mean that the last reality has always been a constant threat to the 0 point. That's a very interesting idea, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Were there any hints of the last reality? No, because back then we didn't know really anything about the 7 and Dr. Sloan, the IO, right? So they could very well know. I guess they could know about the cube too. I don't know if that was a surprise to them. Right, it's a very interesting idea. It's an interesting theory. I hope, like, maybe even, like, in comics one day, it'd be really cool to explore this. What if Triarch Nox will aid towards this eternal eclipse or blood moon eclipse during Fortnitemares? We all know Nox has the power to control darkness, and we know of an unknown character named Triarch Aurora, who threatens to bring in a new dawn that Nox seems to fear a little for the most part. What if, during the season, Nox and Aurora's power clash, causing some sort of blood moon or eternal eclipse that'll benefit Kato Thorn in the end during Fortnitemares? If Kato truly is weakened by the sun in both his human form and Revenant, then two powerful beings causing an eclipse over bringing a new dawn or darkness would aid in his efforts. If Clark is also right in the fact that Kato can only use the time machine or come back to our current present with the use of an eclipse, then as said, both Triarchs would enable not only the usage of the time machine yet, he'd also finally take his Revenant form during said blood moon eclipse. Very, very wacky theory, and one more of my wackier theories, but hey, the eclipse has to happen somehow. Fortnitemares is probably when it's going to happen, and why not make use of both Triarchs and their coming conflict by causing an eclipse during Fortnitemares that both strengthens and enables Kato Thorn himself. I will say, as always, man, Purple, these theories always make sense. They are a little bit out there, but I'm on the side of, like, it'd be really cool if this happened, but I would imagine what they're just gonna do with the eclipse is just like make it all like dark for Fortnitemares or something, and I don't think we're going to end up getting much of it. It'd be really cool if we did. It'd be really cool if we saw something with the Triarchs, but I don't think it'll happen. But this would be a very, very good way to go about it. I'd really like this, and I'm very interested in the Triarch Aurora storyline because it seems like they are really like going to get at something. I just hope that they do before Donald Mustard takes off, you know what I mean? Because I'd love to see where they were trying to go with that. A last Ronin story adapted to the lore would go hard, not gonna lie. Spoilers for the comic movie game to come. FYI, Last Ronin is a story from the TMNT comics where all the turtles are killed except for Mikey, who carries the guilt of non-protecting the ones that he loved and cared about. The story has him going across cities and avenging his brother's killer. At the end of the story, Mikey dies after facing injuries from killing the killer. For the Fortnite lore, it can be a completely new reboot with the exception of Jones, who endeavors on a journey with us as the legend to assemble a new team called the Imagine 7, a fusion between IO and the 7 and face off in the Nothing one last time. His suit can be crafted from the materials of the previous 7 suits, and with Amy is built-in AI. And his tone can be changed from a comedic guy to a serious foundation-like character who carries guilt and just wants to end it all. Could you imagine if that's the way they go with Agent Jones? Could you just imagine? And I actually don't mind the idea of the Imagine 7, by the way. That's very interesting. But you know what? I actually wouldn't mind this. I wouldn't mind this. Just imagine the possibilities for like what they could do with this. They could go along like this story, and assuming that with what we know with Charlie Wen, it seems like he's going to do a good job. Would this happen? Probably not, but I actually really, really like that idea. I have this crazy out there and messy theory. If they decide to go on a story reboot route for Chapter 5, then maybe they could explore things from a way far in the past. Maybe we would use a time machine to go even before Chapter 1 to an even older island, where we would get a whole new timeline because of it. Now, why I do suggest there's a possibility being a different island before the OG days, that is because of a specific line from Season X, when the scientist talks about the 0 point needing to be contained once more. Now, to be fair, he could just been referring to this how the 0 point was contained in the vault previously, but I don't think it too much of an overboard idea that the OG map wasn't the first. I mean, the IO has been existing for thousands of years, so there being more islands beforehand can line up in this point until the dang island gets destroyed in freeforms annually, so who is to say it's never happened before? Either way, I'm not very confident in this myself, but I thought I'd mention it for the 1 in a billion chance that you call it. Well, I thought you were wrong before, man. I'll always point it out, Mark. But that's interesting. The 0 point needs to be contained once more. I never really thought too much of it, so I guess like I would think of it in the sense of like it being in the vault, like you said. But I was also of the opinion that there were definitely islands before this one, but I could also see it how everything was just peaceful and perfect when the Imagine Order was running for thousands of years, you know what I mean? So I could see it going both ways, but I kind of just assumed that there were islands before the Chapter 1 and the OG island because of like all the stuff that I was talking about, right? Like what if we go to a brand new island as a prequel chapter, you know what I mean? So I was always of the opinion that there were different islands, but everything could have gone smoothly. So I can see both is the point. It's a very interesting theory, though. I mean, it's not impossible. But guys, with that last storyline theory comes an end to the lore lab for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a theory that you would like to join and put into a video, join the Discord in the pinned comment in the description down below. We would love to have you there. And thank you so much to everybody who helped make this video. I will see you in the next video, guys. If you want to continue watching the Clen channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you to check out right here. I will see you, like I just said, either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.